my first experience with hospice was volunteering with a hospice program that did retreats for kids that had lost somebody in their life. And I came in as a musician to help these kids write songs, and not as a therapist, not as like a practitioner. And so most of them were probably about the age you were at. That's such a formative age. I mean, 14, 15. I mean, how old are you now?
20.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a lot of time since then. So with these kids, I would tread lightly because they're kids and they're volatile, and their parents forced them to be there, and it's like this day-long retreat where they're having to, people are trying to get their emotions out of them and tell me how you feel and how do you feel, and and when these kids could find a way to express something, not even like I'm gonna write a poem about how much I love my dad, but like express. Like we wrote a song that uses the line "Thank God for milkshakes." This kid kind of he was just like, "I'm just glad there's milkshakes." I'm like, okay, great. That's a little thing, and we turned it into a bigger thing, and before you knew it, just this, expressed themselves on drums, just playing with the emotion. It pricked them a little bit, and we do follow-ups with these kids afterwards where you'd hear that was their first kind of chance to express themselves. I don't know. I didn't know you had that history, but I'm sorry for your loss for sure.
Yeah,
and
that was kind of what drew me to this, and I guess this is my means of self-expression.
Yeah, well, I think that's great, man. I really do. I think that should serve you well, and it's neat to hear that you're already kind of able to form some memories with your dad. And again, that's what I worry about for myself. I think, how do people do that? I don't know. All I can think of is if that happens to me, how my life will effectively be over, and yet I'm here helping people, and I know that's not. I know you keep going. I know we pick back up the next day, and I know I will be there. I'll take care of my kids, but I don't feel like I'm strong enough to do that,
Talking about things is hard. It's hard to have an emotional conversation with someone. It's hard to reveal yourself to someone. I think more recently I've been becoming better at doing that, at being more vulnerable around people and opening up to them. But that's still a hard thing for me. It's still hard to I don't know, just put yourself out there emotionally, even with family members, talking about anything.
Yeah. We train volunteers and staff to, say things or not say things. So we have a list of. This is almost funny, but it matters. I might know what will help me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that's going to be what helps you. So we give a little breakdown of unhelpful comments, or like I said before, I know exactly how you're feeling. We would rather you say, "I'm sorry that you're going through this painful process right now." Even saying things like, "At least you still have children and family there for you." That doesn't usually help people in that moment. Asking them questions sometimes is the helpful way. What is scaring you? What's one of your greatest fears right now? It's okay to be angry. Validating how they already feel tends to be, and I think, again, we find that a lot in our work, is how do we validate whatever you're going through as a patient.
I remember when my dad was dying, he was in the hospital. He had he had cancer, and he had been sick for a while, and it wasn't an unexpected thing. He was deteriorating slowly, and he was in the hospital. And I remember I was at home with my grandma and my uncle, and my mom was at the hospital, and I think I just didn't want to go to the hospital because I just didn't want to see him in that state of decline and not being the dad that I remember. I didn't want to have that last image of a deteriorated person. It was already hard enough seeing him get sicker and skinnier. And so I remember there was the call, okay, we should go to the hospital now. And I think that we kind of knew that he had already died then, or that he was in the process, like, get down there. So I remember I was in the car, like, with my uncle was driving, and I was with my grandma. And I was just sitting in the back seat, like, looking out the window. And I think it was raining, maybe it wasn't, but in my mind, there was, like, raindrops on the window or something. And they were driving on the highway. And I remember just thinking, like, okay, this is, like, I'm gonna be the kid without a dad now.
Your features are going to be the same. So it's a matter of posing those features. If the mouth happens to be open, then positioning and closing the mouth. We here try to give a more natural appearance, and sometimes just even a little slight smile. Often we'll have situations where you'll get reactions from families with what we call a first viewing, that approval view, to make sure that the beard is trimmed up correctly or the hair is done right. Some reactions are because it's the first time people are actually having to deal with the grief of and the reality that this person now is truly dead and gone. There's a little bit of denial, and they'll say, "That's not my mama. That's not my dad." And we may have had a photograph and being able to present, well, what is it that you're uncomfortable with? I just don't know, but that's not them. We'll leave them alone for a while. Other people that may be with them say, "No, that's mama. Look at that." And so when their comfort level becomes more of a reality for them, then they're at ease and they can accept that death more. Then other situations, folks are coming in, and instead of a tearfulness or that kind of denial, you get smiles. And they talk about, "Ooh, doesn't Daddy look good? Ooh, that's his smile. That's his grin. Ooh, that is really him." You can see the hesitation. Maybe they want to hold the person's hand or touch it. So it's okay, you can do that. If you want to stroke their face, you can do that. Some of them come over and they kiss. If you've lost a very close relative and you happen to be either at the home or at the hospital at that time of passing, and you're caressing their hand. So you may not have been able to be there at that point, but you can have that physical goodbye with them at the funeral service.
So you are ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it feels weird because we haven't really talked about this that much at all before.
I know, yeah. Growing into adulthood, I think, is almost harder in some ways because it's the thought of, like, exactly that. Like, how would he be responding to this? Like, so, like, things that I would want to talk to him about and ask him about, just like things happening in the world or things that I've learned, you know what I mean?
And where it's like, I only knew him as, like, a 14-year-old.
Exactly,
up to then.
yeah.
And where it's like, what about now? Like,
I have thought about it fairly often in, like, the past few years. Especially, like, graduating and then, kind of starting to, like, try to build some kind of career. Did you have any kind of, like, therapy or anything at the time?
No. I didn't go to anything. Like,
No.
That
was a bad move.
Did you do anything? Go to anything?
No, it was stupid.
Do you wish we would have now, you think?
Yes, 100%. I think especially at the young age that we were, I think that, like, I know my impulse or my instinct was to just, like, keep functioning somehow every day, like, and not think about it and not think about why and not think about how, and I didn't want to talk to anyone, talk to a stranger,
I feel that 100%. Like, I don't want to talk to my friends about it because that's weird, but I don't know what to do.
the rare occasion comes up that you talk about it, it's like an emotional, like, tidal wave. To talk to a professional and also to like engage with other people your age who are going through similar experiences.
Right.
I don't know how that would have affected me, because I feel like even still a little bit, not as much as when I was like freshman year of college and everything. Like a chip on my shoulder, like I have to grow up. I had to grow up and like, you know, like none of you understand what this experience is, which is true for the most part. But it would have been nice, I think, to like have another person my age to be able to talk to.
I think I was very internal about it and just feel like I'm gonna just think about it and like not really talk to anyone, because then maybe not that it isn't as real, but like it's just I don't have to process it openly.
I feel the same way that like, because I've never really like learned how to talk about it and address it with another human, that I've mainly dealt with it internally. I now don't know how to engage on it with another person, like without like totally freaking out. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, I think like I'm realizing like how many conversations I've had with actual people about this, like very little, and I was realizing like, right, I've talked to like mommy a couple times about it, not a lot. I don't think I would have talked to you about it if it wasn't for this. And like, why haven't we ever talked about it? Because it's hard.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
What? What are we talking about? What do you need to talk about?
I don't know. Just like, so I don't remember having gone there really.
I think you were only there at your dad's grave twice. Once for the burial, and then once when we put up the headstone. At the funeral, do you remember Grandpa and Uncle Ed, you asked them, I don't want people to come and talk to me.
Oh, I remember that,
Do you remember that? And it was like, they were your bodyguard, so to speak.
Part of me thinks this is more for you. I remember thinking that this is for you. Because you want to, like, say your condolences and move on. It's not doing it for me. I'm not feeling that.
But you're correct. Typically it is for them.
Right.
And at 14, that's pretty astute.
Right.
That you were able to say that, and I don't need this. You know, I don't need to make you feel better.
Right. Well, because also it was something where it's like, I know if they come talk to me, I'm going to, like, break down. And, like, I don't want to do that in front of, like, these people. I guess it's, like, the public factor of this. Where it's, like, I am, like, sitting here hiding my face in your shirt.
Yes.
Like, no, thank you. Yeah.
I think it's right up here where the road. So it's somewhere in this 1-5C section, I think.
The Roxas over there from
Yeah. Oh, from, like, every time we've come.
Yeah.
Here's the heart one that Hannah found someplace and put.
Oh.
I don't know who brought the seashell, but I know there've been more. But what do you think? What are you thinking?
I don't know.
You feel sad or weird?
I feel kind of weird.
Do you?
I don't know. I don't know how I thought I would feel. I mean, I don't know. Because I don't really...
You don't connect to that.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I sort of do. But it's like, is that him?
Well, but I always believe that you hear his voice.
Yeah.
You know, in what you read or what you say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh my. Oh, you're okay. I guess that's all.
He said to me when he was first diagnosed, I've done my job with them. I've raised them right. He goes, he said to me, you've done most of the work.
Yeah.
But he goes, I'm okay. They're good kids. I thought, okay.
I'm okay. They're
I'm
good
okay.
kids.
They're good kids. They both had their bar mitzvah. I'm good. Like, okay, you got that
They've
checked.
done the right. It's fine.
That's right. They've done the rite of passage, and we're good. And but that was him. You know, he was. Like Benny. I'm usually pretty good till I talk about you guys with him. Then I lose it.
Then I think, like, would I come out here if it wasn't for this? Like,
Probably not.
probably not.
No. Well, and again, is that your way of saying I don't want to deal with it?
Right.
I mean, you deal with it, I think, every day in different ways.
Sure.
You know, or maybe not every day, but do you think of, you know, when you read something or when you see things, do you think of him, or is it just, again, I don't know, I'm just...
Yeah, sometimes. Like, sometimes I think, like, oh, this is a downtime thing to be doing right now. But yeah, it does feel kind of weird sitting here.
Does it?
Like, I don't know, like, knowing how old this grass is.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can date this grass. But yeah, it's not how I thought I would feel. I don't know.
So how do you feel?
I don't know, you look at it and you think that, like this is it.
It's reduced to this. This is it. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say reduced.
Okay.
But just that, like, this is definitely, like, proof, I guess. Like you said, it's literally written in stone.
So it is proof. Yeah.
But it's a different kind of confrontation, I guess.
Well, and did you, when you were younger, didn't want to deal with it?
Mm-hmm.
Not that you could run from it, but you didn't have to, I guess, look at it in certain ways. Does it feel comforting?
I think so. I guess it also feels comforting that I can sit and look at it and not feel, like, devastated.
Yeah. You'd be proud that you filmed it. He would.